Want to 10x your growth? Discover how only 3 growth hacks in 10 days can change everything. Welcome to the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge with your host, Nader Saber. Today, we're here with Simran, who runs Power Women, shaking things up in the area of women empowerment with a very unique philosophy that I absolutely love, is the fact that it's not about the empowerment itself, but rather the navigation of that empowerment. And that is the role she plays through using things like artificial intelligence and special membership using a sponsorship and mentorship style program, which she has explained in her kickoff video. To get more information about that, go to that video. And to find out more about what her and her team do, you can click below. Before we get started, everything we do here is based on the growth thinking methodology. You want to do what we do here? This is your tool. Simran, welcome aboard. Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Nader.
Yeah.
I could have explained it better than you did just now.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're doing some awesome stuff, really. I mean, the day that you educated me on the philosophy of how you're approaching what you're doing, it is fundamentally so powerful to what you're doing that I am 100% sure by working out some of the growth hacks that we're doing and building that philosophy at the center of it. And I really believe that the future of communicating that philosophy of yours, like really high up in your communications hierarchy, is going to go a long way, because it's a huge differentiator. The way you're thinking about it is a differentiator. Because I see women in power groups all the time, but it's all about just empowerment. Yours is about, well, okay, it's already there, guys. What are we talking about? We need to navigate this thing, right? And so your purpose is super, super clear to me. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're here on hack number 1. Tell us, guide us through what was hack number 1, what happened, what did the results look like? Let's start with what is hack number 1. Go for it.
Yeah, so we've done a product market fit this year, and we've done it with a group of very senior women based across the globe. And they've loved the program. So when I speak to them, they are talking about the next year, and they become our promoters. But what we've never really leveraged is a referral campaign. So that was also, I spoke to an investor a while back, and she said, for you all, the best way to grow would be referrals. And thanks to your tips as well, Nader. So we tried first time ever. I would say we've lacked courage in the past to actually ask people, would you refer us? That's what we've tried to build in our growth hack.
Fantastic. Okay. And so, and you mentioned to me, like in the past, you've had referrals as a cornerstone to your business, which has happened organically without you kind of pushing out. And this is kind of the first time you've kind of pushed out to get referrals. What does that look like? And so explain the growth hack itself, how you went about it, and then kind of what has happened and what are some of the key learnings behind this?
Yeah, I think some of the key learnings has been, of course, what tools to use, right? Whether email marketing or WhatsApp, what kind of messaging. So we got some feelers because we didn't send it to the whole community. We got some feelers. I would like to reword it a bit and then post it. For us, it's a little bit sensitive because the women that we are dealing with are very, very senior, right? Absolutely. So we asked initially, what would you like as a reward? Do you even want a reward, right? So that's the other thing we were not sure. How do you ask them to refer? Money is not a driving factor. So they really have to believe in what we do to refer, right? When we spoke about some incentives, they said, oh, don't do that. Some of these things might be very expensive for you. So it was interesting. They feel a part of the business. I think going forward in the long run, what we want to do is really, I think now that you also suggested, and we've thought it often, to make it more, giving, because most of these women want to give back. Yeah. So giving is a part of, if you refer it, then you either sponsor another woman or something like that, right? Which we haven't been able to do. We are reaching out to NGOs so in such a short time. But now we put in an hour of coaching, which people value, one-to-one coaching with an executive coach. So the feelers first have been like a little bit rewording. People have been very excited. They said, we will sponsor it. But of course, we haven't seen the traction. So it's a matter of time. Maybe it's the checkout page, which I said, the sales page. The tool is very limited. That is some work that we need to do.
So I think that, I mean, measuring the funnel is really important because we got to know which parts are working. I know like in 3 days, there's only so much we can do, but at least we can get an initial signal. And so I think from the signals, it's kind of like, okay, where is it in the funnel we need to kind of fix? But I think fundamentally, I think the alignment of your ethos, which is, the navigation of the empowerment and giving something away, I think is a lot more aligned. Now, ultimately, by the way, so end of the day in growth hacking, we really don't know the answer. We got to test, right? So people are not really responding to like a hard incentive. then we know, well, then let's soften the incentive. Let's shift to like either we go extremely soft or somewhere in the middle where it just gets a little bit softer, because we really don't know. We got to test it out. And on the most extreme, I mean, and I think I pointed out that early on because I felt your ethos has this really powerful center to it. And I think like something where there's a softer incentive may work. We have to test it. Things like, you every time you come in, like you said, free coaching, but the free coaching would go to somebody who really needs the free coaching. So you'd have like a short list of people who would want to be tapping into, who are not necessarily members, but need the help. And so by them doing this, it's like kind of like the Tom Shoes, 1-to-1, right? You take one coaching session. We will then provide another to somebody who needs it, right? The other thing is kind of some of the hard implementations with, of course, a soft thing to it. So things like, collection of clothes or collection of things that can go to people who really need it, or food, or things that are like things that are like just necessity related things. And you need a partner. And there's actually someone I'm thinking in mind, which I'll get you in touch with. She operates in a different geographic location, very well connected where you are as well. There could be a synergy there. I think you need to speak with her because she's very well networked in that kind of NGO space, and she may be somebody you want as well as part of your network, and maybe someone to speak, because she implements hardcore programs on the ground to really move the needle for people in need. And that I think with your ethos, I think that potentially will align very nice. The thing though, we need to fix is your funnel. So even if you have a soft offer, a softer offering is harder to sell than a hard offer. That's one of the challenges. And so we need to kind of figure out the funnel so that we know where in the funnel that things are really working, not working. What's positive is that you've had a very positive response to interest. So people saying, yes, interested, we're on board. That is super positive. Getting them to take action is kind of where we need to figure out. And I think like some of the tools, as you mentioned, maybe have some limitations. So there's all kinds of really low cost and free tools that we can work with to experiment. Because the thing about becoming really creative in your funnel, you need tools that give you that flexibility, because you want to test everything. I mean, this is just like a canvas for you. You want to be able to know where things really work. So we may have to up the game on the tool. And I know you're using a tool that you already integrate and use with, and you can provide some feedback to your provider on that front. That won't do anything for you at the moment, but we need to find other ways to do it. But there are solutions, and that's the beauty of it. Yeah.
So what's interesting is also we've shot videos with most of these women now. Around 10 we've shot, we're still shooting. And on videos, of course, and these videos have been put on our social media campaign, they've said fabulous things about us, right? So even if you would think, okay, is there something wrong? But then we know that, like you said, intent is there on recorded video. They say it, the name, the brand is associated with them, and they are very happy with it. So it's just probably literally our communication in the referral. Absolutely.
I don't think there's anything wrong, frankly speaking. From everything you show me, I think you have all the right things in place. It's a matter of adjustment to get the right things in place so that you get that growth, right? And I think that's what this is all about. I mean, that growth hacking is all about that, right? We at the beginning, we don't know. So we're going to experiment with A, B, C, D, E, and we're going to find out where does it go. And there's some crazy scenarios that we've seen with some other contenders and clients where you have multiple things that actually work for growth. And there's a whole science behind that. And I'll give you a bit of background to it because it gives you kind of heads up for the future. So, let's say you try option A, doesn't work, but option B works. But then you try C and D and they also work, but they don't all work the same. And there's a reason behind that, because B may work differently with a different demographic, and you have the scale for that demographic. And then C works with another demographic or another behavioral pattern. And so you get response there. So what happens is people have been conditioned that there's really just kind of one answer to getting growth results, which is not true. You need to look at it from a kind of a multilateral perspective where you need to see like, okay, if a certain group of people responded, there's some kind of a behavioral trait that they respond to. Now, there are going to be other people who will not respond to that, but respond to another behavioral trait. And so eventually with time is when you kind of figure that out, you're going to start to understand how to respond differently in different scenarios. And then you start to get really rich with your growth capability. For example, signing up a new customer with a hard incentive may be more powerful than a soft incentive. And once a customer is inside and subscribed, a soft incentive is more powerful than a hard incentive. You see, it can literally be like that. So be prepared for that. We're not there right now, but just preempting it just so you're prepared. So that's awesome. I mean, you've got the interest, which is great. We need to build on it. I think that's what we need to do. So what's your biggest takeaway from this?
I think the biggest takeaway is just been to have that mindset to experiment.
Yep.
Right. Now, you normally hear, somebody told me, just hear about stories of the viral or unicorns, but there must be a lot of things they've tried it out right at the back.
Yes.
So being comfortable, being agile, we're already thinking November, Black Friday, December, what all sorts of campaigns we can run,
Yep.
Ideas. So, maybe the first one doesn't work out, but it is the stepping stone, right?
100%.
On which we can build money. So it's been exciting.
Yes.
And,
good.
It's been a big learning experience, and there's still time. So let's see.
Let's see. No, it will work. And by the way, I like the idea you're talking about, your videos, your testimonial videos are really powerful, and I've seen them. And the question is like, how do we get more mileage out of those videos? So cutting them up, grabbing like little tiny 10-second, 15-second messages and branding them and just kind of pushing them out. Because remember, we want to create that consistency with scale. And so if you've got like these like 5-10 really great videos and you can pump up 5 messages out of 10 testimonials as an example, and have total database of 50 of them, right? And you pump one out every second day, that gives you 100 days of traction that you can just keep pushing, and you keep that consistency. So these are some of the things we need to consider, because you've got these assets and your ethos is clearly communicating through these people, and that's powerful. We need to tap into the power of that, right? So there we go.
Absolutely. We're super excited and thrilled to take you to the next level.
Awesome. Next level it is, guys. As we tune out, that's Simran from Power Women. To know more, click below. To hear her story and the power of her ethos, go to the kickoff video before we tune out. If you want to do what we're doing, this is done by the Growth Thinking methodology. Simran, ready for Growth Hack 2?
Yes, absolutely. All set for it.
Awesome. We'll see you in 3 days.